Let me start again. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Disabled Life. This episode may be a little bit disturbing for you guys, for some people, and I apologize in advance. If you do not like to hear about basically a little about domestic violence in case that triggers you, go ahead and listen to other of my episodes. I'm gonna show a warning. This episode should be listened to from people that are 18 and over. Normally I don't say that, but in this case I will. Now let me get into the episode. Welcome to another episode of The Disabled Life. The reason I'm doing this episode is because as a content creator, I feel that it's my duty and my right to talk about things that I find that maybe sometimes disturb me because I am part of the community. Not because something happened to me, I have to speak about it. I'm going to give you a disclaimer. I am not a therapist, not a doctor. I am not a professional of any kind. All this is my opinions. I, as a person, feel that I need to let you know what is going on. I feel that I can give you opinions because I have my opinions on things, and that's what this podcast is about. That's why I call it self-help. Now let me start talking here of the specific thing. Now, this is all stuff that I've quoted off a website on internet. So, okay, 7% of men, 5% of men, 7% of women that are disabled have had domestic violence instances by caregivers or others. Maybe parents, maybe others, or your lovers, whatever. Now, let me explain. The reason why, according to this website, I apologize, according to the website, the reason why domestic violence is bad for the disabled is that there's this 90% of that 97% of that is not reported for the above reasons. They're afraid of losing their caregiver, maybe the breadwinner, or whatever, that type of thing. Okay, now another thing is that again, from what I read on that website, there is not much access to shelters, etc., because in the disabled community, people don't know how to work with us. Maybe they don't have accessible rooms, whatever the case, or just other barriers, transportation, cars, whatever. That's very difficult. In my opinion, this should not deter. And I don't say they should not deter. I think they should. Whatchamacallit. I think they should make it more accessible and give more training to advocates, or even train disabled advocates to deal with the disabled, because we know what we go through. I may not know everything. We may not know everything, for example. I know a lot about my own disability. I don't know about blindness, for example, but I can learn. People can teach us. That's something that we need to do. Okay, another thing I'm going to mention to you is that the most vulnerable members of our community are those of us that are emotionally handicapped or with Down syndrome or those type of things. I'm sorry, I don't know what the umbrella term is, but I would really appreciate if you guys, if there's anything wrong like that, please go get help. because nobody has a right to abuse anybody for any reason. It's sickening to me that people think that just because we're disabled and we can't drive and whatever, they can do things to us that they should not do. So this is a different one. I did not expect to do this one, but here I am because this is something I'm very passionate about, very very interested in giving the disabled a voice, like I say, because very interested in giving the disabled a voice because maybe some people don't even have the funds or don't know how to do a podcast or don't want to do one or don't have the equipment to do one for example. Because you can't start with a tablet like I did, a microphone that I found the other day, but I found it again the other day. But I'll tell you, I have now some equipment that makes it sound great. I'm not going to tell you here what it is right now. Maybe in another podcast I will, or I won't. I don't know. But if it's not accessible to you guys, that's what I'm here to do, to advocate for you from long distance. And that's something I am not comfortable. I thought long and hard about this episode. I didn't. This is not an episode like I jump on sometimes and say hello and talk about my life. But this one is different. I feel that those of us in the same community do not need to be abused, and we should not. Another thing I'm seeing, a lot of people are afraid. Something that I read from that website, also I saw on the website, is that they're afraid of being institutionalized if they report such. I don't know. It's like scary because they might. And I understand that, but no, that should change. That should seriously change. It's not right. We should be able to give ourselves live with the same dignity that any other person lives with. Another thing that I noticed is that they try to sometimes the abusers will try to take, if a disabled person has a child, the abuser will try to take that child away, and that's sad and that's wrong too. It's very wrong. So you see why they're scared, and I understand why they're scared. Sometimes I think, if I report this, where will I go? And I agree, that's scary. With that, thank you for listening to this heavy episode. I'll be back on Wednesday with a lighter episode, my normal thing. And once again, thank you for listening, and follow me where you do. And I'm going to give you my email address to follow. My email to follow is ke4key@gmail.com. Please, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to email me. No, and I promise you, if you email me, I will respond. Please follow me on Twitter. I have a page also on Facebook called The Disabled Guy. So, and you can rate and subscribe to my podcast to listen to when I post. I really would thank